everything to her. He says we should beg our Lord to grant us whatever and only what the Blessed Virgin Mary asks for us. So not only are we thus certain that our prayer will be heard, because he always answers prayers according to his will, that we will also receive his choicest gifts, for his mother asks only what will work towards our sanctification and salvation. Now, as soon as I read about that, that was about 4 years ago, I think, I said, this is great, this is the way to do it. So I started to pray that way, all the time. I do it every day, all the time, to pray that God will give me only what Our Lady asks for me, only what Our Lady designs for me. And so, almost immediately after I started praying like that, I received many profound and unexpected graces. Because Our Lady had desired to obtain all this for me, but she was waiting until I asked our Lord to give me only what she would ask for me. So now, when I pray for something, I always make sure to tell the Lord that I want to receive only what Mary asks or desires for me. So then I have to end up telling him sometimes, if Mary doesn't want me to have this, then don't give it to me. But it's always for the best, because it's doing his will, and it's keeping us on this beautiful path to a deeper life with God, spiritually fruitful, which makes it, once you kind of get there, you're walking in the light, and then you begin to perceive things in a different way. You see other things in a different way too. You see the world really for what it is. All the masks come off, all the veils come down. You see that's what everyone's living for. It's awful. It's nothing. It's inadequate. It's cheap junk. There's only one thing that's really worth living for. And when you decide to enter into that mystery by means of the consecration, by your more deeper prayer and sacramental life, you see it, you know it, it becomes clear to you. Just like that, there was a great story about a fellow who was had this near-death experience, and he went to heaven for a brief time, as this often happens in these experiences, and then he came back to earth, and he said he became severely depressed because he said, "Look at how ugly everything is here. It's all gray and dingy and ugly and horrible." But first of all, we never noticed that before. Because it's okay. It's not so bad out there. I mean, it's not so beautiful, but I mean, in certain places are very beautiful in this world, and the moon and the sky and the stars and the flowers and everything else are very beautiful. But compared to heaven, it's like some charred, burned out, stinking pit down here. Because heaven is so much more beautiful and perfect and wonderful that nothing anywhere compares to it. So we have to have that awareness as part of our vision that no matter how beautiful or good life might seem to be here, and God gives us good things and beautiful gifts to enrich our experience in this world, but He doesn't give us things so that we will get stuck here, get attached to those things, and then pull away from the real thing. So He only gives us stuff to bless us, to use in such a way as to help us get to our goal, the only goal, which is the kingdom of heaven. And that's what He wants to do for us. That's the consecration He's going to do for us. And then, when your goal really is in the right place, then you will see everything else in this world as proper perspective. And even the things that aren't adequate to heaven will be seen as beautiful in the sense that now I see them as reflections of God's beauty. Now I see them as gifts from God that help take me to where He is. Not things that I take to myself and hoard and for my own pleasure that takes me away from God, but things that help me see reflections of the beauty of God and help me move toward His heavenly kingdom. So let's take a break now. 10 minutes, okay? Not 11 minutes, 10 minutes, because there's something very important I need to get into in this next talk. talk, and I want to be able to go into some detail about it. So